Say I'm live, baby. I'm live. It's that time. Too late. Too late. Truth is upon your ass. That's right. Truth is upon you, nigga. Too late to run. We own you, niggas. We own you today. That's right. Black Power. This is the General Rasu and Seti. And I'm black at y'all ass again with this real fucking talk. This Sunday, the making of a nigga, the general, most definitely gonna be in effect. You know, for those that got severe niggeritis. See, I got the making of the white man for motherfuckers that got chronic crackatosis. But see, then I have to also understand that, you know, in order to have chronic crackatosis, you know, you got to also have to have severe niggeritis. You see what I'm saying? That's a severe hate of self. And the only way you gonna love another man and deify another man more than your own divine self, you got to have niggeritis. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only way you can have chronic crackatosis, is to also have severe niggeritis. So for all the family, it's shocking. It's shocking. Just as the making of the white man, those twin lectures. See, I had to bring those lectures for you hard-headed niggas. See, I had to put that shit right up there. Boom. And see, motherfuckers get to running and shit, and you can't run from that because that shit raw truth. You feel what I'm saying? How we looking out there? That what up, Atah? That's raw truth. Peace to all the family out there. Let me get my and we're gonna be dealing with a whole lot, you know, many of the severe diseases of niggerdom. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be dealing with some of the severe diseases of niggerdom. You know, coondaria, not gonorrhea, but coondaria. You understand what I'm saying? The paid malicious degradation of the African image. The paid malicious degradation of the African image. Most of the time you see them niggas up there smiling. Motherfucker got 15 feet a white man up in his ass, and he smiling. You understand what I'm saying? Making it look, you know, pleasurable to defame your own people, the image of your own people. Most of the time when you see that, I just like when them niggas up there putting on the dress and all that. Coondaria. And also sissytosis. You understand what I'm saying? Another very, very serious disease. Sissytosis. Okay, yeah, I might be a comedian, nigga, but ain't nothing more funny than the goddamn truth. Okay? Ain't nothing more funny than the goddamn truth. You know what I'm saying? So when motherfuckers come up here and say, yeah, you know, most niggas laugh because it hurt. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm going to tell you is pull up, nigga, and have your mirror with you. You understand what I'm saying? Because this might be a true story for you and a whole lot of motherfuckers. Huh? Might not be so goddamn funny when you look at the mirror and find out that it's you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Might not be so funny when you look in the mirror and find out that it's you. See, the one thing it is, and I'm going to tell people, and that's why when I do the making of the nigga, they start coming out immediately. You understand what I'm saying? When you go to exercise these goddamn demons, even if you watch that shit on TV, you see the motherfucking demons get to fighting and shit. You know what I'm saying? You watch The Exorcist, and you see the motherfucker went to exercise that bitch, and then she went to fighting like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And so you gonna see these niggas get to foam and act them out. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and they already know that the demon that I'm gonna bring up more likely is they ass already deep down in them. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just as hard as the making of the white man. It's gonna bruise a lot of niggas' egos. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna bruise a lot, but it must be dealt with. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the nigga, it's the nigga making machine. You understand? That's when that cracker toast is going, you got the nigga rights, but another aspect of nigga rights is the defense of the slave master. You see what I'm saying? See, many of these, a little bit of each, you got some of the same building blocks inside of nigga rights as you got in cracker toast. So as soon as you get ready to say something about their master, automatically they're going to go into defense mode. You know what I'm saying? That's another aspect of nigga rights. You see what I'm saying? So, we gonna have, and looking at, many, and how they take the babies. I'm gonna show you how they break it down, taking the babies away from their mamas and their daddies, separating the families, which they still doing today. Ain't a goddamn thing changed. And so we look at all the ingredients that, you see this wicked society. All the ingredients that anything, nigga, it's ingredient. When you put it and make it, it's some ingredients, nigga. It's a list of what you got to add to make it so. You understand? So it's ingredients to the nigga. And most of the time, when you see all the elements and shit and all the ingredients that's going in the pot, the motherfucker putting the ingredients in the pot is the Caucasian. Is the same man who started. Now today, you might get a nigga throw something in there his damn, but it's a trained process. I can even show you that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you that. How to, after taking the babies from their mamas and daddies, how they train, because if you ain't got no, if your mama and daddy ain't giving you the mother culture, see what I'm saying? They ain't giving you the mother culture, and the beast is programming you. You understand what I'm saying? And he get generations that never been touched by the mother culture, and he's programming them, and then they grow up and program another generation that ain't never been. And so after a while, the shit is self-propelling. Like when you put the motherfucking plane on autopilot, you don't even have to put your hands on it no more. You can run that motherfucker on autopilot. And so they know that. And so today, after all these, these years of, the breaking of the niggas, just like the breaking of you done broken. You done broke his spirit of, many of us, but we still here. It's not all of us, but it's a lot of us where you done broke the spirit of being free. Motherfucker don't even know what freedom is, don't even know they enslaved, and so they ain't even seeking it. They okay. They done settled into their misery. You understand what I'm saying? And so, you got generations and generations that don't even know that they enslaved. They okay with it. And so that takes many, many years. The lynchings, the burnings, the grabbing daddies and mamas out the house with the babies still in there, drag them out into the darkness, never to be. And when they do see them, they done did all type of malicious, terrorism to the family, to where they break the spirit of trying to be free. You understand what I'm saying? So this is and so the same thing you see today with, how they keep something on TV. You understand how they do a brother, how they do a sister, how they do the babies, shoot the babies. You understand what I'm saying? They don't give a god. Trayvon Martin, me and my wife were just talking about that. And that sick motherfucker Zimmerman got standing up there with the baby. He's a baby. You stand up there with the boy picture like it's something to be proud of. God damn it. When is the day gonna come for divine retribution? You understand what I'm saying? Won't even when it's divine retribution, you won't even swing the sword for righteousness. But you see but that's the element. See, it's a wicked grafting of who we are. And I'm just gonna be serious. You understand what I'm saying? And only fire gonna undo this. You see? And that's when you see niggas, I'm gonna tell you this. And even though I'm dealing with ancient African architect, I'm still gonna get there. But it's necessary. Even when you See, nigga, see, they gonna flee from the obvious solution. They gonna flee. They gonna get this talking about education. See what I'm saying? Which ain't nothing but an integrationalist, move that psychologically ain't gonna take you off the hook, ain't gonna have you in aggression towards the oppressor, anything other than that. So if you see a motherfuckers talking about this, that, and the third, if they ain't trying to come up off the hook. Because we at this point in motherfucking time, we don't have to talk long. All we have to do is talk strong and straight. The spirit will clarify everything. We long behind, all that shit. We long gone. That shit long been played out. Ain't no motherfucker, ain't nothing gonna get you out of this. You understand what I'm saying? But that righteous, spirit to be free, and like they breaking it and each generation is becoming less aware of them great teachers that gave us the answer. You don't see the great teachers up here. You understand what I'm saying? We don't hear that message no more. And so that's why it's very, very key that I continue to push on the front line. When I hit the motherfucking line, you see the motherfucking line crumble. I hit that motherfucker hard. You know what I'm saying? I had to, like when I come on this motherfucker, like I say, a lot of people say, and I even say this because I know what people say. Classic Seti. All my shit classic. I just want to tell motherfuckers that. You know what I'm saying? If I got up here, because I'm a full-grown lion. You understand what I'm saying? Blood all in my mane. If I got up here like I did 10 years ago and got in, nigga, man, listen here. Nigga, they been sent to my motherfucking Marines. You understand what I'm saying? Nigga, I'm too all-powerful to, to come like that, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want motherfuckers to get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I am greater than that. And I'm saying that because I'm supposed to be that way. That's another form of niggeritis when a motherfucker got, they apologize, for being a lion. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't at all apologize for shit other than not stepping on enough goddamn necks and spines out here. That's the only thing I apologize for. Not stepping on enough necks and spines out here on these coon ass niggas. So family, make sure you be in the house this Sunday. The Making of a Nigga Raw. You need to see it. So explaining a lot about why we here. And many of us listen to the stories of how Yakub grafted the devil. Well, this goddamn Sunday, January the 19th, 2020, I'm going to show you how the devil grafted the nigga. Okay? And so be in the house so you can see this shit and, get some clarity. Okay, let me come back on up here right quick. To all my family out there, General Seti getting live on Patreon. I got smoke. I got shit right now in the cooker that I'm about to drop in the next 2-3 days. You understand what I'm saying? I got shit in the cooker. When I tell you this, you understand what I'm saying? I got some hot shit in the cooker. These are just some of my flyers that I'm putting up. My series, I usually have 15, part series that I'm dropping on Patreon. After I drop 15, I go to the next series. I will be getting into Islam. I'm finishing up on Christianity, getting into Islam. I'm going to be getting into the Aboriginal Black Indian myth. I'm going to be cutting into very viciously. My Patreon is like my debate platform. So most definitely get on over there. Because like I said, in the next 3, you will see it go up. But when you will also see that it's exclusive to my Patreon family. You won't see it on YouTube. You won't see it no other place than my Patreon. And to my family out there, I see family that got, King's Seti University is in effect. That's the complete website, everything on there. You won't get the same thing on Patreon. King Seti University is, just thousands of subjects and that the general didn't drop and will continue to drop. It's complete. Got hundreds of lectures and videos. You got the young classic Seti. You got the debates, Freemasonry, occult science, all the world religions. You got Black power, politics, and economics. You got 2020 General Seti. You got the street battles. You got behind the scenes footage, video and radio interviews, all my Harlem appearances, ancient civilizations and mythology. Have your ass in the place. That's it. I don't see nobody in this day and age talking about they serious and not have this. You know, it's as if the master teacher, Dr. Ben or Dr. John Henry Clark, had all their works and, you know, right there, you know, compiled in one, you know, on one platform. Nigga, there's no way I wouldn't have it. You understand what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna blow the horn because I know what it is. Okay, now, we dealing with ancient African architects and Great Pyramid builders. Now, the reason, you know, I have to, you know, deal with this in a manner so family understand that when we talk about the pyramid, we're talking about the greatest creations ever of the African mind. You understand what I'm saying? In that is millions of years of our DNA genetic history. You understand what I'm saying? Anything you create, it comes from the mind. So when you're talking about the pyramid, you're talking about the greatest creation of the African race ever. Okay? And it's so great to where you got all these people all around the world who envy us and will create all type of myths on how they came to be. You got motherfuckers say the white man done it. I can't find one goddamn pyramid in Europe to date. You understand what I'm saying? Some motherfuckers say the aliens built it. You understand what I'm saying? And I can prove beyond any reasonable doubt that that's a lie because I can show you the complete development, which I'm going to show you today, the complete development of the pyramid that took place in Africa. You can see all the flaws, the development, how they failed, how they had to come back, redo it again. You understand? I can show you the interior of these pyramids that take you back even before the pyramid and show you that the grave, the burial is exactly the same as the ancient burials before the pyramid. Okay? And in one of my lectures, I had to also show that the pyramid is the inverted womb of the goddess Nu. And a lot of people don't understand that. So in the next video where I'm going to be on my Sarah Sun Seti page, I'm dealing with that, the ancient worship of the Black woman. And it's critical to see when you study this history, anthropology, and, you know, geology and all over the course of 30 years, such as I have, see, it's a lot of things, the historic, the genetic fingerprints and footprints that I see all through that shuts down all of the naysayers, all of the lies, and I give you this information so that you can have it because it's yours. It's yours to have, and you need to know it because we got to stop all these tales. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop going down the wrong goddamn lane, you know, long after it already been dispelled. You understand what I'm saying? But we continue to go down these lanes. We don't shut the shit down. We continue to go down all these fraudulent goddamn lanes many, many years after we done already exposed the lies. And so that's what's wrong with us. We continue to go down these wicked, wicked lanes, continuing to fuck up our brain, fuck up the children's brain, instead of putting the truth out there. Now, one of the key factors in knowing that the Africans constructed, you know, as you can see right here, let me show. Let me come down here. I don't know where I put that one at. I didn't have to go down that damn far. Let me come down here. We're going to get busy for a hot minute. Okay, here you go. Here you go. I got so many damn lectures up. My goddamn computer be moving slow as hell. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. Now, what's key about this? Number one. See, there are many models. See, them Europeans then went in the tombs and took a lot of models from up out of the tombs, from up out of the temples, where the African clearly left, models of how they constructed the pyramids, how they constructed the everyday life. Not just how they constructed the pyramid, we just talking about everyday life. You know what I'm saying? So you can go and they've hidden a lot of these models. And then there's many carvings on the wall, okay? Where you see the brothers carving the stones, okay? Carving the stones. And when you go back up into the interior of Africa, see where up in the at the beginning of the Nile, you see, and I'm gonna touch on that. You will see that there's mountains up in up the Nile in Central East Africa. That's the upper regions. And there's a lot of mountains in that area. And so when you go into Ethiopia, they didn't necessarily need, to carve the blocks in the manner that you see in Egypt. See up there, like in the Lalibela area, where you got the 13 churches of Lalibela. See, they just carved the mountain down. See, they had the reverse technology. See, so they construct by not just cutting blocks, but digging the stone up out of there, carving the stone right up out of the mountain. You understand what I'm saying? So where there was a lot of mountains, that was one of the technologies that our African people used. And so people don't understand that for many hundreds of thousands of years, they just carve right into the mountain. Like when you go up and you study, and I'm gonna show you. Matter of fact, let me show you, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me close some of these other. Let me close some of these other lectures out. Okay. Now, this King Lalibela right here. This King Lalibela right here. This is in Ethiopia. Okay? And so this is the Ethiopian churches that I'm talking about. Now, as you can see, they carved deep down into the mountain. And this is almost like a reverse technology. When you go into like Abu Simbel, the temple of Abu Simbel, you will see again, they just carved the mountain down. So, they had hundreds of thousands of years of trial and error. So when you get down to the pyramid, a lot of people say, well, damn, where did the technology come from? That was the technology that they were using at that. And then when they got down into Egypt, see, they don't have the mountains. So then they knew at this point they were trying to duplicate the Holy Land. See, up the river where they came from, the mountain region, that's the Holy Land. If you look into the Egyptian scriptures, they referred to up the river as the lands of the gods and goddesses. This was the Holy Land. So what they were doing was trying to reduplicate the Holy Land in Egypt. But in this manner, they had to bring everything in because Egypt was a desert. You didn't have the mountains such as up in Ethiopia, such as up in Uganda, Rwanda, right around that Holy Great Lakes region. Okay, so this was one of the technologies that they used. So I don't want people at all to think that they wasn't using a high technology as far as engineering, as far as architecture. This was one of the particular architectures that they was using was carving into the mountain itself and carving it out. And see, you got to be perfect in this, because as you carving into this mountain, you got your blueprint. You can't make no mistake, because if you fuck up, nigga, you're gonna have to go to a whole nother area of the damn mountain. You know what I'm saying? You can't. How you gonna straighten it out if you cut too much out? You understand? You didn't made a grave mistake. And so they had to be masters in it. And see, what people don't understand, that Lalibela, they was building these temples like in the 1600s. You understand? 1300s, if I'm not mistaken. It was either, I had to get exactly that date, but if I'm not mistaken, it might have been the 1300s. So that just show you that, a lot of people think that when Egypt fell, that somehow the great sciences, somehow, it lost our memory. And I can go from them and show you that we still have megalithic structure. These is world wonders, that they were still creating in the 1300s, in the 1600s. And this is almost at the time of slavery. Matter of fact, if I'm not, matter of fact, let me look this up. And I was there. Okay, there you go. Let me see what date they constructed there. Okay, the churches themselves date from the 7th to the 13th century. So again, that just showed you. And they were, and that was at the time of Islamic slavery. You understand? We were still producing a world wonder monument. You know what I'm saying? To the point that they tried to even steal this up out of Africa. They tried to say that the Portuguese, you understand what I'm saying, constructed the fucking Knights Templars or whatever they could do. And then finally they had to throw the goddamn towel in, because it's quite evident, you understand, all the facts teach that the Africans did it. If you go to Great Zimbabwe, you also see megalithic structures. So when we talk about, when you're talking about world wonders, there's no continent where you can go. You can go from Great Zimbabwe down into Ethiopia, down into, Sudan, down into Egypt. Ain't no continent have so many world wonders still standing. And see the Greeks and shit. A lot of people try to throw the Greeks up, and not one of the goddamn world wonders is standing, if it ever stood. You understand what I'm saying? I went to India and I did the research on it over there in the Hindu Kush. They didn't destroy some of the earlier monuments, but the Hindu can't battle with the Egyptian. He can't battle with the Nile Valley Africans. They claim to be so ancient, but the Indians over there, they ain't got one temple that, go into the BC period. They don't have one temple, and I put that up there for the family. So they bluff a motherfucker all the time until you they pull out them receipts. Okay, let me see the receipts. And that's what we ain't been doing. So I was watching videos where, and they got some megalithic structures over there to be respected, because that was our ancestors' technology. That wasn't them. That was our ancestors' technology. And a lot of the temples that was in the southern parts of India, them was the ones that they tried to destroy, because they're evident. When you look at the woolly haired Buddhists, they didn't want that up there. They know that's not them. You understand? When you look at all the ancient Buddhists, they know for a fact that all the ancient Buddhists was woolly hair. You didn't see no straight. So they ain't got no claim to none of that. So anything that was over there before they got there, they destroyed it. You see what I'm saying? That's why when you look in southern India, you will see that majority of the temples down there is built in stone. When you get up in northern India, you start seeing them more modernized. You know what I'm saying? They ain't built. You go into southern India, you see that those are stone temples. You understand what I'm saying? You see, they also using the same. If you go to what's the name of that temple in India? I think it's the Eleanor Caves. You understand what I'm saying? They got some temples built in this same technology where they carved down into the rock. And I sat up there. It's this one Indian that's on YouTube. He always over there talking about the ancient Indian culture, this, that, and the third. And I want to debate his ass because I heard him say that no other culture, when you carve into no other culture ever used this type of technology. And I'm looking right at Abu Simbel was carved out of the mountain. I say, this motherfucker do not know what he's talking about. You understand? We were the first people that used that technology and carving the stone blocks and, build. That's the inverted way of, of architecture, where you cut the blocks and then you got the other way where you just carve into the mountain. Okay. And so these are two different technologies, and both of them were created in Africa. Let me come down here and deal with some things. Okay. Now, we looking here at this map, and this is Africa top side up and not upside down. If you're Africa the other way and Europe is at the top and Africa is on the bottom, you're upside down. This is Africa top side up. Why do we do it? Why is it correct this way? Because our people came down the river. We started up here. You understand what I'm saying? Around the Great Lake. Even in the white man evolution, which ain't no evolution, this is another way to maliciously defraud the African history, putting monkey men in Africa, and then we wonder how did we create these sciences if we were still monkeys and ain't never been no monkey men in Africa, not at all. This is some Caucasoid who's so foolish to his own origins that he didn't have no other way to, explain away our greatness, but to give us his own origin. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you call projection, when you project your own thoughts on somebody else. So we started around the Great Lakes region, and we come down the river. You understand what I'm saying? This is our civilization. So when you look at Egypt is at the bottom. Okay, Europe is totally at the bottom. But when you're talking about the bottom of Africa, you understand what I'm saying? Egypt is the bottom. And so when you're talking about all this 4,000 miles of river, and you're talking about the cultural development and we have to understand that when we look around these Great Lakes region, and they only showing Lake Vic, and there is no Lake Victoria in Africa. I must state that again and again and again and again. That's another part of the process, that when we say, very many of our nations, the great rivers, the great lakes, is always some criminal European name that been attached to something that don't belong to them. So many times we got to go in there and clean that up. That's a part, and so, I know, I keep my map, for motherfuckers that got crackatosis, but I'm not doing that no damn more. You just have to come straight up the middle and show it like it is, so people can, reset their orientation. Because if a motherfucker don't set and they continue to look, and you continue to look in a direction that's not gonna render you the truth, then you walking off the ledge. And so we just got to come with the raw truth at times. Many times people say don't give it to them so raw, they might fuck that. If you OD, bitch, you OD. I ain't got time, at this point in time to be sugarcoating shit, holding nobody's hand. Got to come with the raw truth. And so you see over a course, and what I was going to say is that when you look around the Great Lakes, before we come down north, we came down north, we went south. We went south first. You understand? Before we came, so you'll see, the Khoisan people, and you'll see the areas of South Africa. It was, populated by the African people long before down here in Egypt. These is facts. These is facts. So we was in the southern hemisphere long before we came down in the northern hemisphere. So you talking about hundreds of millions of years of development before we even get down to Egypt. And if people don't show you that, then you just pop up and you building pyramids and and the way they explain it, you like, goddamn, they building pyramids in 200-300 years. They didn't cut us off from our true history showing that development. The monkey man syndrome. If you believe in evolution, you believe in Charles Darwin, you got monkeytosis. We got to deal with that. These are all the diseases that's crippling us. You understand what I'm saying? We can no longer, make excuses for, how the fuck is you going to follow a man who just stood up on two legs just 2 days ago, damn near 2 days from going back down on all fours? You see what I'm saying? Many of them ain't never came up on two. You understand? They still down on fours, and we done shown that. So when you talking about going back up into the interior around the Great Lakes, you see here, you see the mountains. You see what I'm saying? Because what are the pyramids? The pyramids are mountains. But what kind of mountains? They volcanoes, and we're going to deal with that. See, that's even sacred in a lot of the ancient cultures that they got from Africa. When you go in the Bible, Moses goes up on the mountain and there's fire and smoke and lightning, and even over there in the Philippines, I've seen it. I'm gonna get some pictures of it where you look off into it. Just erupted a couple of days ago, and you see the smoke going up in the sky, and you see the lightning inside the smoke. You can look right on the goddamn in the Bible, in the pictures of the Bible. That's the same image that you're gonna see when Moses go. It's a volcano. So when you talk about the pyramid, house of fire. Well, so we don't understand that that's the interior of Africa where the volcanoes is at. Lake Victoria is, if I'm not mistaken, a volcanic lake. Many of them lakes in Central Africa, East Africa, are volcanic lakes. So if I'm not mistaken, Victoria, and criminally renamed Lake Victoria. The reason why I say that, because if you go to a map, you won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But we have to learn, and that's the global way of understanding. If I say Lake Victoria, anywhere, most people on the planet, that's what they got up there. And that's a shame that they got it, but at least they know exactly what I'm talking about. So you see up here all of the mountains, but what? When you get down in Egypt, what? You don't see the mountains. This was the Holy Land. You see what I'm saying? Up there in the interior, that was the Holy Land. So even when you look at the zoo types, the sacred zoo types of ancient Egypt and ancient Nubia, the majority of them, the animal originate up the river. Okay, whether it was the lion, whether it was the hippopotamus, whether it was the ostrich, whether it was the yellow baboon. See, this is key. See, and I'm gonna do that when you deal with the animal spirits of ancient Egypt. You will see that the majority of them, if not all, the habitat for those animals, those sacred, is far up the river. You understand what I mean? It ain't just up the river a couple hundred, far up the river. So when you're dealing with the ostrich, which is Mayat, the feather of Mayat, the feathers in Osiris's plume crown, you talking about Shu, the god Shu, got the Ethiopian ostrich feather in their hair. So that's key to show you the southern origins of many of the deities. Okay, the yellow baboon come up out of the interior of deep up there by the Great Lakes region. You see what I'm saying? That's Tahuti. You understand what I'm saying? And so on. And the hippopotamus. See, that's up the river. You understand? Ethiopia, around that, up to it. So when you study the zoo types and you study where they originate, where the environment and the habitat of the animal, that's gonna show you where the wisdom come from, where the religion come from. You see what I'm saying? So now we're looking at, even when you look at the temples, you look at the different columns. You got the palm column, you got the lotus column. You understand what I'm saying? You got you got the lotus, the palm. What's the other one? It's a couple of more, but it's significant because when you're looking at even the reed, the papyrus swamps up in Sudan. You know what I'm saying? When you get up in that region in Sudan that they call the Sud, which is like a swamp, you see many of lots of papyrus. And so when you look at the temple, it's a recreation of the physical Holy Land. Egypt is the Holy Land up south, created in stone. So when you look at, and when you come up in the temple and you see what they call the colonnades, and you see the not the colonnade, but it'll come to what they call where the hypostyle hall, where you got many of the columns, and a colonnade is just one row. When you walk up to one row, but when you get to a hypostyle hall, it's just a hall full of columns. And so that was symbolic of the papyrus swamps, and as you go up deeper into the southern regions. And when you get down to the pyramids is symbolic of the mountains that was up south. See, when you're looking at it ain't just, we built. It's genetic, historical DNA and memory that's in the temple, that's in the pyramid, that's going to take you back to the land of your ancestors, the birth of your ancestors. No goddamn European or no goddamn aliens or nothing else had nothing to do with this. So we had to dispel these myths. Okay, again, we see, now if you look on the left side, you see the pyramid fields. And so they quick to show you the 3 pyramids at Giza, which is way down here. You know what I'm saying? Way down at the bottom. You see what I'm saying? And those were the largest because, they developing down here. As you go up south, you coming down north. And so the southern is where they developing. They having their failures. You understand what I'm saying? They're developing as they coming down the river. And when they get down to Giza, which is at the bottom, they have reached full development. You see what I'm saying? You reach full development. So we know for a fact that, didn't nobody come, no Mesopotamians, nobody outside, no Europeans or nothing, because all of this development you see in the sun would have had to be on the other side, because Giza is the greatest. That's where they reach full development. You can't reach full development without trial and error. I can show you all the trial and errors right there in Southern Africa. Okay, come down. We looking here. So on the left side, you can see what? The key right there show you what? Volcanoes. So you see the volcanoes is all around the Great Lakes region. And so I ain't got time today, but even when they talk about the lake of fire, you understand what I'm saying? That's dealing with the volcanoes. Okay, when you talk about the river, that's dealing because they deal. And so all that hell shit. See, people then extended their own interpretation of something that they don't know what the fuck they talking about. So again, when you look at the pyramid, the house of fire, they're duplicating the Holy Land, which is up north. What it is up south. Excuse me, up south. Got to get my orientation. Egypt is down north, and the sacred lands is up south. Okay? And so again, when you look down into Egypt, you see it's almost like they recreated the volcanoes on the other side in Egypt where there is no volcano. So again, you see right here, the pyramid being the house of fire. And so most of the time when they show a representation, they show the sun. You will see the pyramid and you will see Ra over the pyramid. That's the mystery, the metaphysical understanding of the volcano. But if nobody explain it to you, you won't understand what it means. So the pyramid is also a compass. You understand what I'm saying? That's going to take you back up south. The temple is also a compass that's going to take you back up south where the Africans came from. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is a very powerful map. I like this. Let me see. So you see right down here, you see up here, and this is very small. I don't, if I was on the slide, on the wall, it would be, let me bring you to a bigger picture so you can see exactly what it is. You can see down here that the pyramids are much smaller. Much smaller. Wait a minute. I think this one might be better. I think I blew this one up. You see right here, Saqqara. That's the first pyramid that was constructed by Imhotep. We're going to deal with, you can see right there, that's a step pyramid. But I'm going to show you even before that, they was building the mastaba. And then the mastaba is only one level of the step pyramid. And so Imhotep came and in the third dynasty and stacked the mastabas. Okay, he added another mastaba on top of that mastaba. And then he just, he didn't even intend to do it that way. Now I'm going to show you a bigger picture. You understand what I'm saying? You see over here, Dashur, which it's called the Bent Pyramid. Because now, even though Imhotep constructed the step pyramid, they trying to get to the true pyramid. In Africa is the only continent where you got the true pyramid. A lot of people talk as if, pyramids is all over the world. That's a goddamn lie. Because geometrically, a pyramid in geometry come to a point. Okay, so only in Africa do you have true pyramid. Now, when you're dealing with Imhotep, we call it a pyramid, but if we being geometrically correct, it's not a pyramid. It's stacked mastabas. And I wanted to make that shit clear to myself. And I had to do that to take, all this lies that there are pyramids, there is no pyramid other than Africa. When you're dealing with the geometric preciseness of what a pyramid, if you talk about a triangle and you in geometry, you understand that a triangle come to a point, okay? Smooth, even lines coming to a point. And so you got the true, and I'm showing you how they develop up to the true pyramid, starting with the mastaba, starting with Imhotep stacking the mastaba, and then at Dashur, Sneferu, King Sneferu, who was the last king of, if I'm not mistaken, the fourth dynasty. He was matter of fact, he might have started the fifth dynasty, if I'm not mistaken, or the fourth dynasty. I'll get into it because I need to, so he was the last king. He started the push to bring, the step mastabas to perfection with the true pyramid. And he messed up on one of them that we called it, and I'm going to show you, the Bent Pyramid. So they're developing, okay? It wasn't like no motherfucking aliens landed because it wouldn't be no need for no goddamn development. And then I could show you that from the interior of the mastaba, which is a single story building. That's what they had, okay? You can see that the way that they buried the royalty from the mastaba stayed the same in the pyramid. It's the same interior burial. Okay, so ain't no aliens came. We can show you all of the development. We need to get out of this shit. Okay, we need to quit shooting motherfuckers to the sky unnecessarily. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly what we are doing. And so let me move down because I want to show some things. I want to show some things. This is even bigger. This is even bigger. So you can let me pull it over so you can see. So you see right here, number one is Zolja, the step pyramid right here. Number two is Maydoun right here. I've also been to that one. And they say Pepi of the fourth dynasty, he tried to he was one of the early kings that tried to build a true pyramid, and he failed because the outer casing of where he was trying to fill the step pyramid, you know how you got Imhotep, where he tried to fill them in, you know what I'm saying, and bring it up to a true point, and the outer casing fell down. So there's trials and errors. And then Sneferu came with Dasur, and I'm gonna show you the bigger ones. I'm just showing you because all the failures is down south. And that's what you got to understand. If anybody on the outside of Africa had anything to do with these great pyramids, all of this development would have had to been on the other side. You got to show, you know, when you taking the test, motherfucker, you got to pull out your paper where you did your work. You know, because that's how it is in math, nigga. You can't just put the answer in. A true math teacher's gonna say, nigga, pull out a clean, blank sheet of paper, and I want you to work out the problem. So now we're working out the problem by showing the development of the pyramid, okay? And so all of the failures is down here. And then there's so many other pyramids that they not showing the family. It's over 140 pyramids in Egypt, and all of them are south of the three great pyramids at Giza. All of them is south. So that show you where the development took place. Let me keep moving. We're gonna get on that the African goddess after this on Seti. So don't give me, you know, we still gonna get on that. Okay. Now this is another one. Let me bring it up. See, these are some of the pyramid fields. See, you got Giza, then you got one north of Giza, Abu Rash, but that's still the son of Khufu. So technically, he's still a part of the kings. He's still part of the kings of Giza. And then you got Zayat al-Aryan. But see, these is all Arab terminologies. So these is all these dots here on the left side of the river are pyramid fields, and you can have 5, 6, 7 pyramids at each field. You know what I'm saying? Because you had pyramids from the 3rd dynasty almost to the 13th dynasty. And so they would choose a particular field from an ancestor. They might be of that bloodline. And so they continue to build in that field. You see, Saqqara is right here. It's further south. And it's the first one. So you can see that the development takes place in the south. Okay, this is clear. This is the point that we're trying to make. Ain't no goddamn ziggurat. See, a ziggurat is not a pyramid. I'm tired of motherfuckers talking about that. The motherfucker, no, a ziggurat, and then you still cannot show your work. You can't show how you develop up to the pyramid. You can't show me no mud mound in no motherfucking Mesopotamia and tell me you built the motherfucking pyramid, and the only thing you can find is the mud mound. You got to at least show them. All these motherfuckers claiming to build a pyramid, and you can't find pyramids on no other continent but Africa. If you keep true to the geometric definition of what a real pyramid is. Now this is right here. This is the master box. See, this is what I'm talking about. So what Imhotep did is he stacked them. Okay, and you see down here the burial at the bottom it stayed the same all through even up to the Great Pyramid. It didn't change. And even in the you see the Sir Dab right there. That's a statue of the dead king, and in it is, you know, in the master ball of the pyramid will be a hole where the king could look out into the astrological plane and astro project. You understand? To be one with the god Ptah or the god Osiris. Okay, here again you see let me bring that on now. Let me bring that on now. Okay, so I don't have to keep. You see how this you see this what you call Lord have mercy. I'm moving so fast. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But you know this sarcophagus was lowered down, and then you would have workmen down here that would move it into place. Okay, let me keep moving. And so this is the top of the master bar. You would have, all of these is different rooms, and you would have different things in the room. You can have statues in one, furniture in one. You can have, you know, lots of pottery and lots of, you know, things that the king or the queen needed in the afterlife. They put it all down in the master. Now understand, the first kings had these. That's how you know that Egypt didn't start just at no goddamn 3000 BC, because normal, all the first dynasty king. Do you understand, nigga? If you get a goddamn plot of land today, you understand what I'm saying? If you get a plot of land today and you put a fucking headstone on it, nigga, you know how much money you gonna need to pay? Hold on, family, let me get some water. I know family be laughing. They like, Seti, man, how you goddamn water? Goddamn it, I can't have everything at one fucking time. I had to get up and get a goddamn break. So I'm glad that you know, so if you see this, if you see the top, this is the top, okay? But up under that building, up under that one story is only a master by one story, okay? And again, you know, Imhotep stacked about 6 of them on top of each other. This was the first time that it was done in history. And so these, you know, Imhotep technically constructed a step multi-level master box. That's what he had. And to be true to what a pyramid is, to take, and it's as great, it's still one of the wonders of the world, but that's just to take other motherfuckers out the game talking about his pyramids all over the world. That's bullshit. It's only one continent that ever constructed the true pyramid. Okay? And so, again, now, see what I'm saying? Now you see the master bar here to the left. And then you come over to Imhotep's pyramid in the middle. See, now in the interior, that's the master bar that originally he meant to be. Okay? And then he began to add on to it. He built a couple, and he built, you know, for the first time, he went greater than, he said, my king got to be, you know, greater than all kings before him. And so he began to extend on, and for the first time, you have a multi-level master box. Okay, 6-level master box. You understand? Now, it might have been something on the top, I don't know. Because, you know, they steal so much. You know what I'm saying? But When you look up under the step mastaba, and I say pyramid so that y'all understand what I'm talking about, the pyramid of Imhotep, you see that the burial, the shaft, this is the shaft that they lower the sarcophagus down, and they'll put the king or the queen in this area at the bottom. So it did not change. And even when you go into the Great Pyramid, that chamber, that show you the development, that it ain't no goddamn aliens or nothing. The interior of it come from up out of the earlier tombs of Africa, which we call the mastaba. Let me move down. This is even showing you a bigger picture. You see here the mastaba, one level. You see the shaft. You come over to the step pyramid. You see the same shaft where they buried the king. And this is the and another thing which I'm gonna deal with the goddess. When I deal with that, the most ancient religion in the world is the worship of the African goddess. That's facts. I don't make shit up. They know this. Okay, they know this. That's even in anthropology. They know this because of the type of burial. The goddamn Greeks and the goddamn Romans, if you watch their movie, they were putting the bodies on the goddamn rivers and the seas and setting fire to them. They didn't even have no goddamn burial. That's why when you go, I dare anybody to go to motherfucking Greece and find me the tomb of one goddamn king. One. I didn't say two, nigga. One. Okay, go to goddamn Rome. They'll bring me up the body. Y'all digging up African kings and queens. Bring us one damn body of any Greek or Roman, goddamn it, and motherfucker, I got $1 million. Goddamn it for you. And I ain't got it, but goddamn it, I don't need it. Cause you ain't gonna find one, nigga. So I don't goddamn need it. Okay, they didn't even know what burials was. You feel what I'm saying? Let me come on down. So this is one of the great pyramids. This is Menkaure pyramid. This is the third largest pyramid, and it was pyramids bigger than his, but because it was on the platform with Giza, with the largest, he still get high regard. But as you can see, the burial, even in the Great Pyramid, was the same as the first dynasty mastabas. Okay? Now, these is all the early. Now, check this out. I need y'all to see this. You understand what I'm saying? This is Aha, the very first Sultan, the very first Pharaoh king of Egypt. You got Deir, Djet. You got Narmer. You got Ka. You got Anija. You got Den. You got Ka. Now this is the first and second dynasty. And as you can see, as I showed you, you see. Wait a minute, I done clicked up. You see right here. Let me bring this down. You see how large these tombs is. These is all storerooms. Each one you see in red is just like this mastaba. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, you can't get, if you get buried today, you get one of these motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? If you get that, if you get that, you see how many storerooms this king had? And so when you go down here and you see that these is really, even though they not the pyramid, these is very, very large tombs. This the first dynasty. These are the, now I dare any more, if you go into any other culture, when you start talking about their first king, that shit mythological. They have no connection to no motherfucking none of that shit. I don't give a fuck if you're in India. I don't give a fuck if you're in China. I don't give a fuck if you're in Greece, Rome. If you talk about their first king, nigga, you talking about mythology. You have no connection to that motherfucker other than them goddamn stories that you niggas is reading. Here in Egypt, the first king, nigga, damn near all of them are the first and second dynasty. Matter of fact, pre-dynastic. Because, see, this is what blew it, because when they went to Upper Nubia, shit, damn near 800 years before these tombs, they were already constructing tombs on this level. 800 years before Egypt. So it's shocking how developed Egypt, and not just Egypt, the Nile Valley culture was before Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna get to even this level. You know what I'm saying? Of building tombs on this level without, man, listen, thousands and thousands and thousands of years of development to get to this point. Because we're not even dealing with the type of, the furniture and the level of pottery and the carvings and the statues that were put down in these tombs. You understand what I'm saying? So these was very exquisite tombs. Again, this is showing you Imhotep. This is the first one. So you see right there, that first darker brown, that's where he started, because it's nothing but a master box. You see what I'm saying? I'm showing you the development. Ain't no motherfucking alien brought shit. See, you need a teacher that can show you this shit. This is what Dr. Ben showed me. He showed me this. And when I seen it I say that it broke all the mythology and shit, because now I can follow the steps in which it was constructed. Okay, and so you see, this is where, and then he extended it. And you see plan one right here. You know what I'm saying? Then he went even further and added on, even making it even greater than what the plan one was. So he kept adding on and on and on until you got what today is what they call the step pyramid of Imhotep. He built it for this king right here, Zoser. And see, this is his Sir Dab. When I say a Sir Dab, that's right up here. You see back here in the back, that's where a likeness of the king was constructed. And you see right here, there was a hole cut in the wall so that the statue could astro project out into the cosmos to be one with the divine creator at that time, which was Ptah. Now, we have to understand the Great Pyramid age, Ptah was the supreme deity. I see Ptah out there. I see Ptah out there. The great king out there, helping General Seti out, you know what I'm saying? Moderating for the brother. You see what I'm saying? So Ptah at that time was the supreme deity of the old kingdom. And he was the black god of the cosmos. Now you see Imhotep, and when we see Imhotep, see, this is how you break the code. And I'm teaching tonight. You see what I'm saying? They'll tell you, listen, and this is just showing you how fucked up niggas is. They'll tell you that the oldest text that they got in Egypt was the pyramid text. Okay? They'll tell you that, right? And then they'll tell you in the Middle Kingdom, then you start getting what they call the coffin text. You see, and that's when they start scribing in the coffins, the wooden coffin. And then they'll tell you the New Kingdom is where they developed the papyrus. They say they developed the papyrus. Now, Imhotep is in the third dynasty of the old kingdom. What you see sitting on his lap? What do you see sitting on his lap? A damn papyrus. You understand what I'm saying? You see a papyrus on his lap. He's right there with the blueprint, right there sitting in his lap. You see what I'm saying? So that right there should show everybody that they don't, because they done took all this shit. They don't want you to know you was writing from day one. They had papyrus before Egypt. They already was writing. You ain't gonna come up with no damn full-blown language. Even when you look at the pyramid text, I went down in the tomb of Teddy, and you can see they had wherever it was some room to write, they wrote. This wasn't no people just starting. These people had at that time had to have already been writing for thousands and thousands of years, even to develop that many symbols and have meanings connected. Man, there was thousands and thousands of symbols in that pyramid of Teddy. And it's supposed to be old kingdom. And so they want you to believe. And the reason why, because they're trying to synchronize it with the Bible. They're trying to synchronize it with Greece and Rome, because they don't want you to know that, goddamn it, we is hundreds of thousands, millions of years older than these people. Okay, so you see right there, Imhotep, who constructed that pyramid of Zoser around 27. Now that's on the Caucasoid timeline. You see what I'm saying? That's on the Caucasoid time. So I don't want y'all to become confused that you mean anything, because it could be 3 times as ancient as that. You see what I'm saying? Or even more than that. You see what I'm saying? So, we talking about already, scriptures already, holy writing, blueprints. And today, just like in the ancient world, if you constructing a goddamn building, nigga, you got to do it on paper first. You got to get the measurements correct and you got to do that, all of that before you even start. You got to have the blueprint. You got to lay it out. And so it is today, so it was in the ancient world. Okay? And so let me come on down. I might have to do a part 2 to this. You see right here. Now, I bring it up so you can see it. You see what I'm saying? If you look at the mastaba, then you look at the step pyramid, you look at the burial shaft, and then you come to the Great Pyramid, you'll see that it's the same burial system that came from the earlier construction of the mastaba and the step, showing you the development, showing you the earlier aspects of it. And now you understand they're constructing on the level. Why are they now building on this level? Because you got to understand they had to come down into Egypt. That's just like when the United States get ready to go to war, right? What do? You understand? They have to, you got to bring so many motherfuckers over. You can't just say, you can declare war, but the war ain't going to get busy until they get everything that they need over there. So they'll start bringing their soldiers. Then they'll start bringing their equipment. And you know how long that could take before they can get everything that they need? It might take them a couple months. You understand? To get and then when they get everything on the ground, they tanks and that's when they go in. And so you got to understand that at this time, Egypt is, the last area of Africa that really ain't even been, built upon. So this is the last nation on the Nile. And so they starting to come down. Why are they coming down? Because you starting to have these vagabonds coming from outside of Africa coming in. And you see what I'm saying? They starting to come upon the land. They raiding up south. You understand? You know what I'm saying? So they messing with colonies on the outside. So it's time to come down and bring some administration upon the land. We got to lock this door down, which is the front door to Africa. We got to lock this door down. We got to put some administration down here. And so, when they come down, the earlier kings been sent down from the south. Get down there and get that shit together. So that's like when they first, consciousness say, this is when the program is first starting. You understand? And then as they start to come down with greater architects, greater administrator, greater teachers, now they got all that they need on the land. And that's when you start to see the magnificent pyramids come up. Okay, and so until then, you understand they got enough architects, enough masons to build what you see and what they call the mastaba. Let me come on down. Here it is right here, showing you the first stone structure in human history. The oldest one, the only one we know still standing, the step pyramid of Saqqara, built by the Grand Master Architect Imhotep for the Sultan and King Zoser, 2668, 2649 BC. And so, as you see, now you understand where they get the stairway to heaven. You see what I'm saying? This is where it come from. And at that time, Ptah was the great black cosmic deity in the sky that the kings wanted to be one with, and you know, as what we talk about salvation. And salvation is where, you know, the spirit go on to a afterlife, you know, the term what they call the netherworld. You understand what I'm saying? To be one with all the other African spirits that then went on and be one with Ptah. So that was Ptah in the old kingdom that the gods and the kings was going to be one with. And so the Sir Dab was so that he could add, the king could and the queen could astro project out into the cosmos and be one with the god Ptah. Okay, we showed that right there. And so here you see again, you see Imhotep, this is Sneferu, and this is Khufu, his son. Now, this is the pyramid that came after Imhotep right here. And you can see he was trying to fill it in. He was trying to fill it in right here. You know, you see Huni, who started it, and Sneferu was trying to work with it, but, you know, the outer casing fell down. All the stone was right around here. You understand what I'm saying? And they cleared it out. They probably used it for other shit like mosque and other buildings in Cairo and around Egypt. That's what they was doing. They was reusing the damn stone. But you can see that he was filling them steps in. You can see he was filling them steps in. You know what I'm saying? They'll get up and they'll fill it in. And when they fill it in, they'll come behind it with an outer casing so you wouldn't see all of that. You know what I'm saying? They'll put that white outer casing on there so that you wouldn't see that. Okay? You see, they trying, so right here, this is showing you the blueprint, the platform on which he was trying to build on. All this on the outside fell down. Okay, so, you know, that show you the failure. Now, this is the bent pyramid. This is Sneferu right here in the middle. He came and after this one, he came with the bit, and you can see it's a flaw in it because you can see up in here, you know, they was building so massively, but they didn't have all their calculations correct. And so as they started to go up, they could see that it was going to fall in. Okay, it was going, if they would have continued to go straight up, it would have collapsed. So when they got to this point, they just cut it off on a slant. You understand what I'm saying? And finished it and left it like that. That's why they call it the bent pyramid. If this pyramid right here, listen, it's so much stone on that damn pyramid. It's only second to the pyramid of Khufu. You know, even though you got Khafra and Menkaure at Giza, this pyramid is actually larger than both. If it would have came to the top, it would have been the second largest pyramid on the planet. But by volume, it would have even been bigger than Giza because there's a lot of stone on that pyramid. So that right there ain't no joke. Even though it's a flaw, it's still the wonder of the world. And so he came back. This is Sneferu. And so he built the world's first true pyramid. After all of the failures, starting, you know, you started with the mastaba, you got to the step pyramid stage with Imhotep. Now you come to Meidum. You've tried to fill it in, but you still have not reached perfection, and it fell down. Then you came with the bent pyramid, and you're still working with it. And finally, Sneferu built the world's first true pyramid, perfection, the red pyramid, in 2613, 2589 BC. Now, Sneferu right here was the father of Khufu right here on the right. And so when you go to Giza, you see Khufu right here. You see Khafra and Menkaure. It looked like Khafra might be bigger than Khufu, but it's not. It's up on the higher platform. So if they were sitting side by side, you will actually see that Khufu's pyramid is the largest. Okay, and so this is the development of the pyramid in Africa. This is another shot, Khufu 2589. 2566 BC, and you see that this is in the earliest stages of Egypt. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? That just was so shocking. This not, you got over 30 dynasties of Egypt. Damn, this is in the fourth. You know what I'm saying? That's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? How the hell do you do something like that? But again, in it is a map, is an orientation that'll take you back up. When you look at it, that it's the house of fire, that it's the volcanoes. You understand what I'm saying? And this is Khafre's pyramid. You know Khafre's pyramid because it still got some white limestone. And you got to understand all these pyramids would have had white limestone on them. They would have been, with gold capstones. You understand what I'm saying? They would have been shining for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You would be able to see them hundreds and hundreds of miles away, shining. They like lighthouses. You understand that you can see in the desert. Now, this is Menkaure pyramid. But understandably, this pyramid right here, the bent pyramid, is actually would have been larger if it would. You can see the massiveness of this bent pyramid. So Sneferu actually put more pyramids on the earth than any one king. He put more stone on the earth than any one king. And you talking about, I think he was the last king of the third dynasty, or they might consider him the first king of the fourth dynasty. Okay? Now, the last one, and I'm going to move on, and I'm going to come back to this, because I just needed to show y'all the origin of it so we don't get this shit twisted. Once you pull out the receipts and show you how it developed, it kills any outside intervention. It kills because all of the development, when we say how they worked it out, all the flaws, all the trial and errors is in Africa and it's further up south. As they come down the river, they become more and more developed, more the architects, more the master teachers are coming down into Egypt, and then you get even more profound architecture. This is right here is Amenemhet III. This was the last great king who built large pyramids, on this level. You see the Black Pyramid right here. I didn't get up. I was there though. I was able to see it off in the distance. I took pictures of it, but you can go over there, but most tour not gonna go over there because it's not as developed as the other pyramid. They call this one the Black Pyramid. He actually built two pyramids too. So this was 1860, 1814 BC. And you know what I'm saying? And so this is the other one. This one is at Hawara. This one is over at this is at Dashur too. I didn't get to see this one. You know what I'm saying? This is in a remote area of Egypt. So you have to take a personal, trip out there to see this. You see what I'm saying? So this even killed the fact that, they talking about Hebrews was in Egypt. We know this is a goddamn lie because Abraham, even by the biblical timeline, even by the Hebrew timeline, lived around 1700 BC. Even by the Jewish and the Christian timeline. So the last pyramid, Great Pyramid of Egypt, had already been built even before Abraham, even before, what the fuck so how the fuck is y'all in Egypt building pyramids and they already been constructed? You see what I'm saying? And the last thing that I had to say, how could you even have anything to do with building on this level? And then when we go to Israel, you cannot even find one tomb for any of your great kings, okay? And not one king, not one. I didn't ask you for two, I just asked you for one. When you look at, and I'm going to move on to Seti because it's going to be necessary when I deal with the burials. And I'm going to show you even before the master bar of the type of burial, how we were placed down in the burial. And that's going to show you the worship of the black goddess go back hundreds of thousands of years. You understand? This is the oldest religion on the planet. And when I teach you and show you this, man, ain't nobody can say nothing. And when you see it, it's almost like that DNA gonna open up and the motherfucker ain't gonna be able to say shit to you. And lastly, what I wanted to say, even when you go in the Valley of the Kings and you go, you know, and they carve, and that's another, when I talk about removing the rock, that's just, when you go to Lalabella, they remove the rock. So that's what they was doing. They was carving down in the mountains before they was cutting the blocks. So when it got, so when when it came time to cut the blocks, that wasn't shit to them. You know how much stone they was removing already, just carving down into the stone? Into the mountains. They was removing goddamn hundreds of thousands of tons of stone just carving into the mountain. So a lot of times you won't see the megalithic structure like the pyramid because they didn't dig down into the mountain. And if you don't know where the damn entrance is, you ain't gonna even know it's there. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of those great megalithic tombs are hidden from the eye. It does not mean that they was not advancing technology and architecture and shit like that. That's what, see, and I had to show you that so you know what was going on. And so if they was in Egypt and, you know, and they were a part of building the pyramids and they had anything to do, where is the fucking tombs, man? You couldn't build on that level. And then you go into Israel and we look, you cannot find one fucking tomb or go into Greece or Europe and not find one fucking tomb for one Hebrew prophet king, one Grecian king, royalty, Roman, or any of that. You could not have been a part of any of that development and have nothing to show as far as architecture for your kings, for your prophets, for your royalty. I'm done. I'm done. You're gonna come to Africa and build all this shit for your enemy, and then you don't build nothing for your own people to glorify. That don't make no money. And I'm gonna end on this. When you talk about a crown, a motherfucker gonna always put the biggest crown, the biggest jewels that he got in his treasure chest, he gonna always put it in his own crown. He not gonna take the biggest gems he got and go put it in another man's crown. You see what I'm saying? When you look at China, the greatest monuments of China are in China. They're not in Japan. They're not in Taiwan. They're not in France. They're in China, the Great Wall of China. When you think about the greatest monument of France, the Eiffel Tower, it's in France. It's in Paris. It's not in Britain. It's not in Germany. It's not down in goddamn Indonesia. It's in France. Okay? When you think about the greatest monument of, say, Rome, you're talking about the Colosseum. It's in Italy. So that's what I mean when a man build his greatest, when a man, build his greatest monuments, the glory of his advancement of his people's intellect is always in his own land. You don't never go and build your greatest monuments in another man's land. You don't do that. So quit lying about Europeans and Jews and aliens and shit. Building pyramids is all a lie. This is African ingenuity, African intellectual, architectural advancement, greater than any man, any lie, greater than anything that's ever been built on the planet. Glorify in the greatness of your ancestors. Do your research and quit letting these motherfuckers lie to your baby. I'm about to go over here to Sarasu and Seti so I can get into this black goddess. I want y'all to show up immediately. I'm going to get me some goddamn water and I'm going to go right on in. All right, family, this is the General Sarasu and Seti, the making of the nigga this Sunday. The link right down in the damn video description, kingseti.com, generalseti.com, Seti University. Be a part of greatness, nigga. The greatest goddamn teacher on the planet, General Seti, Black Power.